You guys ready for this?
Yes, yes.
So, well, for now, because things will be changing, you could do this stretch either sitting down or standing up, but just to let you know, in the future, there will be more standing up and more interactive and more getting out of your seats and more moving because we're supposed to be moving. Right. So, but for now, we could either do it standing or sitting down, and these are standing open arm twists. So we're gonna do it for we're going to start with that on the left, on the right, and then we're going to do the hero 4 point neck position. And of course, that's front, back, side to side. But we're going to start with the open arm twist. And how that goes is if you stand up or you sit down, excuse me, bring your hands above your head. Now you're going to bring them down. When you bring them down and twist, you're going to bring them down so both your elbows at a 90 degrees. You're going to bring it back up and you're going to be straight. You're going to twist back and bring it back down. So we're going to do that for a minute. All right, guys? All right, let's go. So as you breathe in, so go ahead. Don't wait, do it at your time. So breathe in, do what you're breathing. Breathe up, breathe in, excuse me, when your hands is up. Breathe out when you bring your hands down to 90 degrees angles and you twist. Breathe in, breathe out, and twist. Breathe in, breathe out, and twist. 30 seconds. All right, now we're gonna switch sides. The 30, if a minute is too long, just go for as long as you can go, but bring them arms up and twist. If that's too much for you, just bring your arms up and down, up and down if the twist is too much. But we want to definitely start moving and we want to, right, put some oxygen and some air into our muscles and all of that. So just we want to move. All right, 15 seconds. Oh, I'm doing it wrong. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Whew, got a little messed up there in my suit. All right, so this is a 4 point hero neck position. And what we're gonna do is you're gonna drop your head forward. You're gonna keep your body straight. Like keep your body, your shoulders straight. You're not moving nothing else but your head and your neck. And you're gonna drop your chin to your shoulder for 2 seconds. Drop it back as if you're looking at the sky for 2 seconds. Bring your right ear to your right shoulder for 2 seconds. Bring your left ear to your left shoulder for 2 seconds. You're gonna do that a few times. And then we're gonna go into a 2 minute breathing exercise. Okay. All right, guys. The first breathing exercise. The first breathing exercise is gonna be in through the nose and out through the nose. Slow pace, a 4 count in, 2 count hold, 4 count out. All right, guys. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna play some nature sounds, and you're gonna breathe at your own rhythm, but in through your nose, not in your own rhythm. I'm sorry. In through your nose, out through your nose. 4 count in, 4 count out. Okay, guys. And we're gonna do that for 2 minutes. That was round one.
Ooh, got the blood flowing, the breath, the prana. Feeling good. Thank you, Tone. Thank you, Sister Tone, for that.
All right, all right.
We got it good to go now. And we here meeting up for this back in the days theme. Everybody looking so on point, so ready. So I'm gonna kick it off. And keeping in that theme, the first piece that I'm doing It's called Back in the Days. Now, it's so back in the days that when my brother did the production for this, it was on a program that he does not have anymore. So the instrumental is far gone. So I'm gonna do it a cappella. Y'all could in y'all space just clap along with it, give a little finger snap or something, but I'd like to hear it. Here we go. It was 1990 something. Pops is alive then. He used to take us swimming at Coney Island, even though the water was dirty. We ain't cared or running around the house half naked. We ain't wear clothes. Take it back, way back to the fresh air fun. No worrying about looking good. It was just pure fun with welfare in the hood. You could get what you want. Sunnydale fruit punch, summertime free lunch. I was in that line twice, 3 times in the good day. Then we headed over to Wingate where we would play freeze tag. A Skelly melt the crayon in the juice top. Areja had the 10-speed. Jamal had the boombox. Get dunked in a public pool if it was too hot. If I got, then you got. But one's in my tube sock looking back from where I came. Sometimes I'm amazed. Let's take a trip on Reminisce Road and go back in the days. Back in the days.
Ooh, hey,
Back in the days.
hey,
Back in the days.
hey.
Remember back in the days? It was 1990 something. Pac was alive then. The Tribe Called Quest and the Fugees was popping. They lost Soul, Rick the Ruler, and Rock Him. The dude Dougie Fresh had me and Ja beatboxing. Heavy D and Super Cat had the whole world bouncing. Biggie first featured on the track with the Don Dada. And years later, the game he was on top of West Coast. Knock had it sound real proper. Chart topping hit still produced by the doctor. Bone Thugs and Twister spit it quicker from the Midwest. Common broke it down, gave you common sense. And down south tracks made you bankhead bounce. Ghetto Boys 8 Ball and MJG Suave House. Outcast was the truth. Can't forget about Uncle Luke. Out of many of these are a few I will listen to on my stoop. So let's rewind through time while you're cruising out in your coupe and go back in the days. Back in the days.
Back in the days.
Back in the days. Back in the days.
Back in the days.
Remember back in the days? Yeah, so I had a lot of fun with that. That's on the first project that I ever released called Return of the Old New. And around that time, a lot of my songs were about stories that I either experienced growing up. There's another song on there called 7 Bad Kids, and I'm just talking about my mom's being a single parent, raising us up. But yeah, that was inspired by life.
Your mom's a superwoman. Can I just say that, by the way? I don't know how. On two has nearly broke me many times. So
yeah, we gave her 2 hands full.
Yeah. Yeah, most people couldn't. 4 is a lot. 7's like whole. It's 7 on your own because I had the thought. If I go on, just we'll edit it out. But I had the thought the other day that like being a single parent is so hard.
Yeah.
It's not easy because you make every decision. You've got to do all the talking to, all the discipline, all the rewarding, everything. You know what I mean? It's like it's non-stop. And like I say, I've struggled with 2. Not struggled, but seen the challenge in 2. So yeah, salute to your mom.
Yes, indeed. Every day, all day, hats go off. Mama love gets the praise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, I need you to spit more. I need you to rap more. I love when you rap. I'm a fan.
Thank you. Okay.
I need you to rap.
That's all I've been writing nowadays too. I've just been in the rap bag. I'll actually link with somebody at 19 Keys event. He's a producer that worked with some guys in the industry, and I got a session with him coming up. So he's in that boom bap vein, which I play with that when I do rap.
That's what's
Your
up.
flow is different. I love it. I love it.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. Thank you. Thank you
You'll be
so
making an
much.
album soon.
Soon, yes, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Soon come. Soon come.
Yep, yep. The next piece I'm gonna do is also one that the beat is somewhere that I just can't get my hands on. So we go in acapella again. This one is called Inspired. And by the way, both of these are on SoundCloud and Bandcamp. And yeah, all of that will be shared. So you can get tuned into the tunes. Inspired is really about the artist side, whereas back in the days was about upbringing and whatnot. So inspired goes a little something like this. If you don't know, now you know these are the very reasons I am CA. If you don't know, now you know these are the experiences of me. Oh, if you don't know, now you know these are the very reasons I am CA. And if you don't know, now you know these are the experiences of me. It used to be Rockefeller forever, bad boy for life. Back when Wingate was the spot to Willie Bikes. Way before I wanted to get illy on the mic, saw pictures of my aunt and my mom's, get it right. Heard Uncle Terrence used to get down, Bob Marley Foundation, Uncle Tony freestyle. Wow. Is and out. Well, I guess I'm starting to think that this gift is endowed. And Big Bro hand me much more than hand me downs. I remember Cinco went to sleep with the metronome. Woke up the whole house beating on the drums. Even had a job at the record store. At the parties, me and Jaja Beats carry records for 'em. Now we record. This a record form. Yo, Cinco, throw this record on. If you don't know, now you know these are the very reasons I am C. Yeah. If you don't know, now you know these are the experiences of me. Oh, if you don't know, now you know these are the very reasons I am CA. If you don't know, now you know these are the experiences of me. Ooh la la la, word the vibrant sounds we've been doing our thing. Ooh la la la, build this verse after building with brother McQueen. Ooh la la la. Hey yo, peace to Medina for encouraging me, cause I thought I was done with this 1-2 thing. Was in the zone but wasn't rhyming to the beat. Then Chief Encore summoned me to Alter Beast. Shortly after formed the duo with A&T. Years later, and we still making it happen. Doing much more than just rapping to the beat. Jaw to the beat, jaw word to the 6 strings on my guitar. When I record, man, I recall the experiences of a beat boy. If you don't know, now you know these are the very reasons I am C. Yeah. If you don't know, now you know these are the experiences of me. Oh, if you don't know, now you know these are the very reasons I am C. If you don't know, now you know these are the experiences of me. Well, can I kick it? Yeah, we living life over here. Toast to all the goals we've accomplished this year. One time for my ace, J Diddy Supreme. He don't even rapping, he the God MC. He said you gotta just tighten up your delivery. Make sure you match every word with that energy. Word to my mini me. We gonna take it there, let it take us where we never been, places we wouldn't let us in. All cause the color of our skin. Now the passport stamped up from traveling and hope for the future shine brighter than the gym. Still riding with the ones that were shooting in the gym with me. And we play full court. It's pure love for the sport. Got the game in my veins and these songs from the heart. If you don't know, now you know these are the very reasons I am C. Yeah. If you don't know, now you know these are the experiences of me. Oh, if you don't know, now you know these are the very reasons I am C. Yeah. If you don't know, now you know these are the experiences of me. If you don't know now, you know that had to be from back in the day because they don't even do 3-verse songs anymore. But yeah, that's my set. And as mentioned before, these songs are available on pretty much the major streaming platforms as well, but I'm more lean towards promoting Bandcamp and SoundCloud just because I'm on that DIY indie artist type of vibe. So, I'll be sharing the links too.
Nice, nice, nice.
Let's keep it moving on
Because
and
if
on
you don't
on
know,
it. And next up, we got Supernatural C is in the
Mm.
building.
Mm, mm, mm.
With the
Oi,
Moni Love
oi.
type vibes going on.
Oh, yeah, I got my 80s to get up on. This is because I was only a little you in the 80s. This is how I wanted to look. I didn't look like this because I was a little child. And then after that, I always had my hair in a French plait and I was the driest looking you. Not driest, but let's not exaggerate. I did have some style going on. But I used to look up at the teenagers. And this is probably more Mary's kind of age group. But this is what I wanted to look like. Big hair, shell suit top, nice rope chain going on. I found one with a butterfly on, and butterflies are my thing. So I'm gonna say this poem. It's called Plenty Plenty. So this poem is about my childhood. It is a new piece that I wrote yesterday. So bear with me if I stumble a little bit, but I think it sums up what life was like for me as a little girl. So plenty, plenty. We would lie by the patio door, sunbeams pouring on us, basking in light on our backs, side by side. She was the cool auntie, always carrying jokes. This was our close. I never knew if she knew that I loved her, the most. Firstborn came, and we would do the same. On our bed, in a flat, in South London town, her baby hands waving through the beams that came down. Secondborn, echoes of great grandma carries the air of an old soul's heart, knitting and knotting, crochet and cooking. Little Biddy, Millicent, has a militance of old. We were told at 8 years old that teething pounds from my brother's drawer would meet a firm resolve. They'd chop off your hand, in Barbados apparently. A teeth we don't stand. A flawed plan, our robbery. We were caught outright, no jobs, so what a mockery. We just found the pounds, mini criminals raiding the house. Barefoot on the cooked tarmac of the drive, crisp grass underneath as we made mud pies. Birds chirping high, blue and white skies, grazed knees and burst lips, standard summertime. Bike rides and dance routines, makeovers and acting scenes, animated and activated, well-fed, hydrated. No tea at our house, home cooked and rolled out. Rice and peas, chicken and greens, cuckoo, plantain, all them things. You name it. Shepherd's pie, Saturday soup, mac and cheese. I was a fat ute. Food and music, music and food, a bit of telly and books to pursue my imagination. Vivid images from some other's creation transported me out of Middle England mundaneness. A mundane that I cherish now. Quiet house, peaceful sounds. I think we're the loudest family, just like growing up. But there's 3 here, not 8. So that's what it was. Cricket on the drive, a feast for a picnic, call boxes and vibes, sunglasses, beakers, hula hoops and frisbees, rounders and hopscotch, chalk and some concrete. What more do you want? Jumping rope and catching joke, listening hard while learning to cope with a juxtaposition that blazed like fire. At home, I'm at home. Out there, I'm simply other. No bother with that though, for it is contrast. Fond memories were forged in that fire that last. Stand the test of time, enough for I to pass on to mine. I am not she, and she is not me, but we women of this lineage share plenty, plenty. That's plenty, plenty.
Yes, I love it.
Dope, 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 dope.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and
You
I think
shared a video earlier that made me think about the patois and how they were in school and the teacher had the girl read, and her parents said, her mom specifically was saying something, the teacher was just like on her about it.
yeah, and in truth, actually, I'm so pleased you said that, because that's what's led to the work that I do, the training that I do in schools now, because that shows you where it started. That shows you the institutionalism that, you know, when we came to this country in suits and trilby hats and our Sunday best and looking, you know, they expected, as I was explained to, monkeys to come off the boat, because that was the propaganda. So if you were from, say, a Southeast Asian background, you were known to have another language. So when they did their IQ tests, they took into account you have another language. But with us from the Caribbean, they didn't see that as another language. So they called us stupid, you know, they called us disruptive, all that stuff. It was very difficult for the migrants, the Windrush generation, when they came here. But I think what that did for us, I know what that did for me growing up and my family, was my mom and aunt just boom, they just came together and they just made everything happen. So us as children, you know, one of my fondest memories, my auntie Lorna, who's passed, who I'm talking about in this poem. I'm gonna cry. My auntie Lorna, she used to always bring us.
Bless the Lord.
It's
All right.
okay, sis. You're honoring her today. I know you do all the time, but this is in honor of her.
Yes, indeed. Take your time.
Yeah, she used to bring us cherries. She always used to bring us a bag of cherries, and in the summertime. And for me, that was like the best thing ever, these cherries. Do you know what I mean? Like, cherries were the best fruit and they were expensive. So we would sit around these cherries like they were, like, you know, the most delectable thing on the planet. But we benefited from, it's crazy how the discrimination, we benefited from that in terms of pulling in and closing ranks and keeping family close, because we weren't going to get it out there. So we had to get it in the house. Do you know what I mean? My grandparents, my auntie, my mom, it was that combination that, for me, as the third of four children, I just had the best childhood, man. It was flipping great. There was stuff, but it was great, you know? Yeah, that's me.
You know, they
Thank you.
always say that. They always say, like, the oldest child has it the hardest. The middle child is like gets away with everything, but the last child is just like can't do nothing wrong. They always say, like, you don't never want to be the first child. You be the second on the last. You don't want to be the first.
As the oldest, I can say that's true. That is
Me
Oh,
too.
100% true. It is 100% true. And I'm the oldest of 7. So yeah, nah.
Oh, you got 7 like me.
It is 100% true. Also, on a serious note, um, Caroline, honestly, releasing like that also is healing, and you
Absolutely.
should do that more. Like the way that, I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth or anything, but the way you release it seems like you don't do that enough. And you might want to consider doing that more, whether in private or in public. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
It'll definitely
yes.
release some of that tension from you, and I appreciate it personally. You know, I lost a auntie a couple of years ago too, and she was surrogate mom for me. So I'm here with you in spirit, and I appreciate your share.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
share that. She was my second mom. And like
Mhm.
Mary has said as well, I don't know when it's going to come. You know, that's
Yeah.
grief, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Like
that
when I
is.
Mhm.
wrote it, not a tear. Not a
Mm-hmm.
tear.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I sit here and I share it with you guys, and I think it's because I can feel, you know, the love from you,
Absolutely.
amplifying it. And the last thing that I wanted to say was, oh, what was I going to say that I thought was important? Oh, it's gone. Gone. But we're blessed, aren't we? You know, if we've
Yes.
had these amazing women in our life, you know, it hurts because they were so good.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
that love that you get is it's you know, to give thanks, because it wouldn't matter to me if she wasn't. So that's what I was going to say, was that lately these ancestors of mine, man, they got me busting out soca and busting out reggae. Every time I go to play a tune, all I hear is put on berries, put on some soca. I'm like, is it your life or my life? So
It might be what you need. It might be
Mm-hmm.
exactly what
Yeah,
you
right.
need.
They
Mm-hmm.
wanna dance with you to what they want to hear.
100%.
that's what I
Love.
feel. Yeah, that's what I feel. I feel like I'm being their DJ. That's what it feels like.
Yes.
Can
Yep.
I say something real quick? I feel like we are so, and even me, even though I'm 37, like I still feel lucky. You know what I'm saying? Because as far as like ancestors and having like that elderly spiritual like being or some like even if it wasn't my biological, I still have somebody that, you know what I'm saying, is older who like passed down like that type of feeling, you know, that type of
Mm-hmm.
nostalgia where it's like you know that grandmotherly love or like that. It's just different now, you know, because now I feel like kids nowadays, or maybe even like in like say 10 years, will they be able to speak of their ancestors or their,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying, like that, like will they have that same type of love connection or miss or towards them, you know what I'm saying? So I'm
I
very
get what you mean.
grateful, you know what I'm saying, for, you know what I'm saying, my time period. I ain't gonna lie. I wish I was born in the late 70s, early 80s, but I'm still grateful that, you know what I'm saying, I got a little touch of it.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
There's a
I think we were
security.
the last generation of that, for real.
Yeah, it's those traditional backgrounds. You see it, and now it's all gone mad, and there's like no rules, and everybody do your thing and go wild. Eat what you want, do what you want, sex what you want,
Yeah.
when you want. You know what I mean?
There's
You don't
like
have to
no
work.
passage of right. There's no rites of passage anymore. Nothing, you know?
You
Well,
feel,
maybe they might be, but I haven't seen.
That's because
yeah,
they're
because
younger. A lot of them are younger. Like your grandma should not be 50. No disrespect to people. I understand life be lifing, but you can't get that same seasoning from a 50-year-old from instead of a 70-year-old. You know what I mean? There's a
That's
difference.
true.
It's a big
That's
You
difference.
true.
believe that? Because there's some 50-year-olds that might be well wise and knowledgeable and like that has that. Because like
Maybe the
listen,
type of
for
50-year-old.
instance,
That
like
part.
Right.
The
I think
type
Anahan,
of
I
50 year
upbringing
don't
old.
makes
know
a
her per
difference.
se, but like let's just say she's 100% legit in who she is and how she portrays herself. If she continues in that path, I can see her being wise or somebody like her being wise before they're like, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying, like
Mm-hmm.
70 and they're able to, but you have to have that type of disposition, that type of
Right.
like heart and
Wisdom.
everything that goes
Mhm.
with it.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I
That
think
big
it's
mama
Yeah.
energy.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yes. There.
That's the difference. That's the
the
difference. It's
weight.
not a lot.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of that anymore.
It's the weight. If you when you get to a certain point in life, I know at 45 now, I'm totally different to 35.
Yeah.
How I am as a mother, how I am with other young people, I'm different because I'm 45. You know what I mean? When I'm 35, I'm auntie. When I'm 45, I'm more mommy. When I'm
Copy.
55, 65, I'm more grandmother, you know? So it's like I don't think it's I get your point, but I don't think it's the age. I think it's about attitude,
Mm-hmm.
because my mom was a young grandmother, my grandmother was a young grandmother, but they're grandmothers. Do you know what I mean? There's like my mom will still say to the girls, like, I let my daughters wear things like shorts and because it's cold here, it's not hot most of the time. So things like batty riders and them shorts where your bottom can hang out the bottom, obviously they're never wearing that. But I do let them wear like their comfortable shorts and their vests or whatever in the house. And in the summertime, I'll let them go. Now Ome's 17, I'll let her go out like that with mom. And mom will still go every time, like, where you going? You know what I mean? And Ome's always like, Nan. And I'm always like, ignore Nanny. You know what I mean? Like, she don't know about these times. You know what I mean? Because in them days, you're mad. They were batty riders in them days, but there's nothing showing. It's perfectly, she's athletic. She got trainers on. It all looks nice and you know, appropriate. But she's Nanny. That's what Nanny does. Where you going like that?
I agree. Structure for sure, and upbringing. I think that's the difference. There's so much ratchet that you kind of get lost in the age thing, but I think you're right. It's definitely there's a difference for sure.
I remember when I was younger, I was not, well, now I don't even care for it, or I think maybe I wore more makeup when I was 16, my sweet 16 that I didn't even want. But other than that, like, I was not allowed to wear nail polish, none of those things that made you feel like you was grown when you was 8, 9, like, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't wear nail polish, I didn't wear makeup, and I'm talking about throughout high school. Now my sisters, they got their nails done when they was like 10th, 11th grade, but obviously I didn't care for that. But you know what I'm saying? My grandmother was the grandmother that you wanted. My foster mom was not, but her mother was that type. She was like the southern, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just have to have respect for her, and
yes,
you
ma'am.
just
No,
always
ma'am.
wanted to show up. So yeah, she was like that. We ain't wearing no nail polish. What you doing? And that kind of thing. Like, now I'll be to my niece. I'll be like, "What you doing? What you wearing nail polish? You only 8 years old. What you doing?" And it was like, it's a different time. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
My kindergartners that I teach, they wear nail polish, and
Oh, no.
like my sixth graders, they have press on nails.
Oh Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't like it
Younger.
because they got to learn to love their natural beauty, and at a such young age, if they're already having to add to feel whole, that concerns me. But I'm waiting until we develop that bond to really share that with them, because you can't just, you should not just be like, oh, don't do this, oh, don't do that, if you don't have that bond of relationship, because it might come off wrong. But when you know and they know that it's being said with love, and you wanting to empower them to feel their best, then prayerfully they'll listen.
It's not
making that connection for sure. So a couple of things just came to me from what Miss Ice just said about adding on. A lot of that is because of the times that we're in now, right? Because everybody wants to look like their online avatar or whatever. Whereas back in the days, we was just plain Jane with it, out there making it happen. But hey, I guess we're gonna see where this thing goes, right? But Supernatural C, is that all we get from you today?
That's me done.
Okay.
One and done. One and
That was
done.
beautiful.
Done,
That was
son.
beautiful.
That
So
was
we're gonna
beautiful.
keep it moving. Miss Ice.
Oh, ice,
in the
ice,
place.
baby.
Ice,
Ice,
baby.
baby. Where's that vanilla ice? Give that vanilla ice.
Ice, baby. So this, I actually had programmed to have my drums in it, because I not really drums, a drum, but y'all can't hear it. So I'm just gonna do my regular schmegular, and ta-da!
You got this, baby.
All right. Bear with me. Okay. So what I'm about to do is go back. How far back? Way back. I'm gonna take you higher. Can you hear me clap? Gonna take you high. I'm gonna go back to a place and time where all was divine, a place and time where we were all one. Let's go back to Mama Lucy. Yeah, you know, when we were all one, they called it Pangea. You know, a big mass of land where we all were together. Now, wait. What about the dark matter? Before. Hmm. Yes, but I can't remember that far back. So how about I tell you about when I remember before. Before I was here and came to exist in this avatar. I remember being one with thee. I was yet a child. I did not quite want to enter into this realm. Oh, heck, truth be told, I was scared as heck. I told the father, I don't want to go down there. And the father said to me, don't be scared, my child. Go into the light. Everything will be all right. And just like that, I was born. I don't remember much after that until, hmm, let's say Christmas. Oh, the joy I felt. So much toys. All the family was together. And the whole living room was filled with toys just for me. Yippee! Oh, yay, it was and will always be all about the toys for me. Well, nowadays it's the treats. Cakey, daddy. He loves me not. No, he loves me. Diamond rings, he loves me. No, scram. What you say? Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more. Well, what about the moment when I fell in love? Yes, in love. It was the MTV for me. Yes, the MTV man. My auntie Gina used to come and get me from upstairs. Yeah, Friday nights, right? About 9 p.m. in the early 1980s, to be exact. We would dance to the music videos and pop jiffy aluminum popcorn right there on the stove and listen to She's an Uptown Girl, my Uptown Girl. Oh yeah, Billy Joel, I love him for that. Oh no. Wait a minute. Come a chameleon. They come and go. They come and go. Oh, no. Cindy Lauper. Girls, we want to have fun. Oh, girls just want to have. That's all we really want. Okay. Yes, those were the good old days before, well, my family completely went on the splits. And that demon man, who am I kidding? The devil came to exist in our lives. Oh no, not the devil man. Yes, the devil man. A real life boogeyman. No. More like the boogie monster. It was and will still be so hard for me to hate him. I mean, yeah, he beat us bad, so bad that we had to escape in the middle of the night to the safety of my god family's house, you know, our safe house. Well, the one good thing about that, well, we won't say his name. Okay, well, at least he made me love music even more. I love for him to DJ. I remember the song he said not to tell anyone or to sing out loud because I would get in trouble. Yeah, you and me, Lonnie, Alonda and Lonnie. It was just It was just us two then, remember? Yeah, we do remember. Okay, everybody, the song was If You Wanna Ride, dum 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 dum, don't ride the right pony. If you wanna be rich, dum 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 dum, you got to be a whoop. Yeah, yeah. That was a cool song and even is to this day a cool song. Okay, well remember he brought us our first record player. It was a Radio Shack. Yeah, Radio Shack record player. And yes, I do. It was Prince. Let's go crazy. Let's go. Doctor, everything will be all right. Make everything go wrong. Let's talk go. Oh, wait a minute. Erotic City. Yeah. If we cannot make babies, maybe we can make some time. Lots of pretty you and me. All right. Wait. Ooh. Don't forget the other album. It was like a little 12-inch. Oh, the freaks come out at night. Ow. The freaks come out at night. Huh. The freaks come out. And side B of that was Friends. How many of us have them? Friends. No. Wait a minute. Do you remember our one friend? Of course, she's still around. You know, Gail Butler, the one who she saved, Alonda and Lonnie, because those were only two there at that time. And Alonda was like 9. Not to mention, she saved our lives on the way to school. Yep. Miss Thangalonda here was eating on a Twix and opened the wrapper up with her teeth and dang near killed all of us. Well, the real reason I was thinking of her was because, well, what do you remember about the one song that got time for play up? Oh, like a quiz with Jeopardy, like Londa. Okay. It's Cool Mo D for us. Do you know what time it is? Tell me, do you know? Do you know what time it is? Tell me, do you know? Do you know what time it is? Tell me, do you know? Do you know what time it is? Check the clock. Put your Gucci watch on and synchronize the time and let's rock. Oh, yes. I think that's the time like I felt like Google Gaga about music. Like I think I might have even creamed when I heard that shit. Sorry, girl, don't you be cussing. Now, you know what? How about the time when we first started to fall out of love with hip hop? Well, we never really fell out of love with hip hop. For that will always stand. It's the bastardizing of once was my greatest love affair. Why do you think it's a liquor store on every corner? Why? Because they want us to kill ourselves. Why? Because they want us to kill ourselves. Why do you think it's a liquor store on every corner? Yeah, that's the Boys in the Hood thing. That's when it all started going bad. But here lately, it's one who came out. Yeah, the one that beat Drake. Yeah, he got that one song. Oh, we gonna be all right. Hey, we gonna be all right. Let me hear that. We gonna be all right. What else he say? They not like us. They like not us. Ew. Well, maybe there's hope for hip hop. The end.
Yes.
Hey, we go
Maybe
be all
there's hope for hip hop after all.
Lord.
Ah,
You wanna know what
thank
was
you.
so dope? What was so dope? Yo, because you wanna know what? Hip hop ain't we never fell out of love with hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't love what's not hip hop.
Exactly.
But we ain't fall out of love with hip hop. We just
Exactly.
miss hip hop. This
Mm-hmm.
is all it really basically boils down to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You'll never fall out of love with, you know what I'm saying, Kumo D, freaking
Right.
the real, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
come on.
You know
Yeah.
what I think sometimes
The real
people
hip hop. I'm sorry,
some-
now what you saying?
what I think is sometimes people confuse hip hop with rap, right?
Absolutely.
Mm.
There you
So
go.
hip hop is the
They do.
culture and it encompasses things like the b-boys, the b-girls,
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah.
beatboxing, it's
Mm-hmm.
fashion in it. There's hip hop is not just rhymes and beats and
Rhymes and
somebody
right.
spitting. Hip hop
It's
is
graffiti.
how you walk, how you talk, how you wear what you wear. That's hip hop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Real talk.
The
Hip
part
hop
that people
also
forget that hip
is
hop was also
That's the
education.
best freaking thing I've heard about hip hop. Somebody
Yeah.
break it down. It is not just about rap. It's the culture. It's the way you dress. It's
yeah,
the way you present yourself. It's the
Mm-hmm.
dancing. It's the it's the way you talk. It's your lingo. It's oh man.
right,
It's
right.
life.
And then look at this. It's called hip hop, right? Do you
Mm-hmm.
know it has its roots from the knowledge of the gods and the earth?
Absolutely.
Right.
From
Five
hip
percent.
being
Right.
if you're hip with something, that means you know. To hop
Yep.
is to move. So hip
Mm-hmm.
hop is the knowledge movement.
Yes.
Ooh, you
Yeah,
know, you just
started.
put me on. I
You
never
took
even
it.
put that together.
Took it.
You learn
I was
There
about
something
you
to say the
go.
new.
same thing. He was cooking. That's
Dang,
education.
you
Let's
just
take it to
cooked just
KRS
now.
One.
Mm-hmm.
KRS One. Knowledge God. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man.
That was dope. I didn't know that. That was so dope.
It was
Dropping
started just
knowledge.
because they
If you
wasn't
hip to
teaching the
something
street.
and
That was the
yeah,
real.
hop, you moving, that makes so much
Right,
sense. What?
right. There you go. And that's how Miss Ice always breaks it down. You know, she get us hip, she get us moving. So she be doing a hip hop too.
I received
Brothers
it.
back. Oh
Mm.
Yeah.
man. She said, I'm gonna take you way back.
Hmm. Yeah,
I
but you're
love it. I love
100%
it.
right. I think that's the thing nowadays that people misinterpret and they think that like this rap and whatever mumble whatever they saying they think that they put a record together and just vocalize over it that's hip hop or whatever that doesn't constitute hip hop. If you rapping whatever you doing your little rap, but that's not hip hop. You just
Yeah.
rapping.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Right.
just one part of the culture.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. And it is about adding to. It
Yes.
is not to the degra- degradation of the masses.
Right.
So when you look and you say it's knowledge, so when we hear the death culture, that is
Mm,
not hip hop. That
mm.
is bastardized.
Boom.
Okay.
That is
Say
not right.
that.
Yes.
Make sure. Ooh, make sure
Yes.
this goes in there.
You
Make sure
know,
that goes in there.
That's so
that's
sad.
not
It
Mhm.
just
it.
got
That's not
saturated.
it.
Like you think about it for like 20 years, it just got saturated with a lot of
Mhm.
death, a lot of drugs, a lot of the lean culture in the 2000s
Revenge
for
and
sure.
Okay.
We lost track of what real hip hop was for real. Just started paying less and less attention to lyricism. That was
Ah,
the problem. People was
Pac
focusing
said
on
it.
vibes, and
Mm-hmm.
vibes will kill you if you don't listen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But can
May I say
you go ahead, Ms. Ice, I'll go after you though.
the one thing I want to say is one of our members of Bone Thugs and Harmony, because y'all know I'm from the land.
mm-hmm.
He said that actually it's Crazy Bone. Let me put it out there. Had done an interview right before he took very, 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 very ill and almost passed away. And before I go any further, I want to say rest in power,
Angela
our
Stone.
beloved.
Angie
Yes.
Stone, baby.
Yeah.
Oh
No
yes,
sister
yes.
from Virginia,
For
absolutely.
sure,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Let's put that in the air, love and light, and usher in that saucy love. She was part of hip hop. She was the first part of the first hip hop women. I don't like saying female or femc group, the
Mhm.
sequence. And I actually got a
Yeah.
chance to present her and Blondie with a plaque that I made, a golden record plaque
Oh
at Woodhill
wow.
Park in the mid 2000s. And they're just beautiful people, beautiful people. And it really shocked me to my core to hear that. And she was also in a battle with Universal Records about her royalties as well.
He just made a post about that, and then boom, just made a post. I just heard this post like last week. I just heard this post.
Yep.
And then yesterday I heard this. I was like, wow.
Wow.
And it's just so sad because she's a legend to the culture. And
Absolutely.
even though she wasn't Beyonce status or, you know what I'm saying, she wasn't you know what I'm saying, like Patti LaBelle, or she wasn't, but Angie Stone was still she was still like a fundamental
A pillar.
piece.
Yes.
And I feel like
impactful.
it's so messed up. If you see how it's just messed up what they do to people and how they treat like our legends, just like how they treat our veterans. Like there's no reason why she had to be even doing shows for basketball tournaments and doing this and the third or whatever because they was robbing her like that.
Yep.
But you want to know what? Everything is good and everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. It's unfortunate that her time in this space is over, but at the end of the day, everything happens for a reason. She's moving on. She moved on. She's in a better place. She's, you know what I'm saying? But it's just messed up that this is the pattern. This is the cycle.
Yeah.
You know
Michael,
what I'm saying?
Prince. Yep.
And I'm hoping that in the next generation, when they talk about back in the day, they talk about how this was something that has changed. And in their time, they could remember this time and be like, yeah, it was crazy back then. But now, you know, artists get their respective rights.
I think the artists are just taking over. Let's just cut the middleman out, do what we love, and get on our own streaming platforms and sell it privately. And then that way we don't have to worry about if somebody's coming to knock us off because they want to take from us, you know. But I just want to go real quick is that the reason why we have seen the bastardization of hip hop over the past 20 years, as Crazy Bone said, was that in the early 90s, all of the major record labels and the powers that be and the privatized prison people came in and had like a mansion party with all of the major hip hop artists and said that we're all going to make a lot of money. You're going to make murder rap, drug rap, you know, all this other crazy bastardized rap. And that's going to influence your audience to go and do criminal things. And then they'll go to jail and we'll all make money like that. So there's no, you know, if you put the timelines together, this is why we have seen the downfall of what was a beautiful movement. And still, we have beautiful artists that are not mainstream, but they still make hip hop because they're not on those major labels.
That's a super fact.
All I was going to say was that I watched a podcast today, actually. These two guys that are from the town, the city next to me, Birmingham. So Birmingham, the black population is mainly Jamaican. And they were talking about reggae, and they were saying the same thing about reggae, how it went from, you know, all this peace and love, the type of songs, you know, what Emmanuel sang last time, you know, it was love songs, proper like from the heart, you know, love songs. And then it just went slack, got sexual. It's about dagger this, dagger that, you know what I mean? Bend over this, show that. Dancehall and reggae are obviously two different things. But they were saying, you know, if we listen to the music that we listened to growing up, it just makes you want to relax. It makes you feel good. It makes you want to help. This new, like they did mention an artist and say that artist, as big as they are, was the beginning of that downfall. And like when you look at the timelines of that next to what you've just said as well, how come all the music on the planet seems to have started to deteriorate? Because we have it in England as well, you know, with the UK rap and what we call UK drill.
UK drill, yeah.
It's like some mad business. It's nothing but criminal stuff, you know, and balaclavas and Go ahead. Sorry.
Because I want to say, like, you know what Ice Baby was saying, like, as far as like they put the agenda together and they said they push this is the right. So now let's just say for numbers, right? Let's say that you have three major record labels and they pushing this, and they have each have 5 artists that they're pushing. That's 15 artists in between three labels that are pushing ignorant, revengeful, hateful music or whatever, because this is what their label is telling them to do, because this is whatever, this is the agenda. They're gonna make money, they're gonna go to jail, da da da. So now if you have these 15 people and the labels are backing them and they're paying radios to play them in the center. So now they're in rotation. So now they get money. Now they can play. Whether people really care for them or not, they being forced to listen to them. So much so that even if you don't like the song, you still find yourself knowing the words and singing the words because they push it so much on the radio. But now you have 50. We're talking small numbers because the numbers are much more larger. Now you have 50 other artists who see, I see these 15 people. This is what they're doing. It's the blueprint, and that's how they making their money. So hip hop used to be a love thing. Hip hop was love. Hip hop was, peace. Hip hop was. Now, what we have now are money grabs. Money grabs in every segment of what we're doing on the internet is money grabs. So it's like you have people that don't even believe in the stuff that they spitting, but they like, I'm gonna say this real quick because I know I'm gonna get a quick bag and I know that this is gonna sell. I feel like that is the beginning of the wave of people riding the boat and like losing themselves. Because I believe like a lot of people who rap and talk all this nonsense, I really even believe that a lot of them don't even want to be doing this, but they know that this is the way that they're gonna make their money, and they care more about the monetary gains of what they're doing than they do about the influence and what it used to be. Back in the day, you have Common, you have Most Def, you have Free. They, of course, they wanted their money or whatever, but it was more so about getting the word, getting the message out to the people. It was always about a message. It was always about a message. And they took lesser pay. But it was now it's like, listen, man, I got this expensive ass girl. Excuse me, I have this expensive girl. She want this, she want that, or I got this and I got a flex, or I got this and a third. So I need the most money I can get, and I think that that's where we are now. Even though I have hope that we're to a point now where it's like we reached a pinnacle of degradation, and now the tides are changing. I'm hoping. But that's what I believe. I believe that now it's more so on where we are now is more so like people just want to just make that money the fastest way, the best way they can, whether they believe in what they're doing or not.
Yep.
But
And that's why it's bastardized.
And can I just say one thing very quickly, that conscious music has to be bangers. That's a big part of the problem as well. That's why Kendrick and They Not Like Us has been so huge, because his music is bangers, no matter what he's saying. When I like Common and a lot of these conscious, but they don't bang hard enough for me. You know what I mean? When I want to hear a tune, you're not going to get young people they don't want to listen to jazz. You know what I'm saying? And jazz is an older people's thing. That's more when you chill out. There's obviously young people that do it. But I think that's a big part of the problem as well, is that when people, it's not only those artists who have fallen into the trap of stereotypes. It's like when Neo Soul came out, and a lot of those artists, from the things that I've watched, have said, we didn't even want to be put in that category. They put us in that category. They grouped us together, although we didn't group ourselves together. You know what I'm saying? But now you've got people thinking, for me to be conscious, that's what I've struggled with. I'm very conscious and very spiritual, but I don't want to wear that stuff. I don't dress like that. You know what I'm saying? I want to put on a bodycon dress and high heels and be conscious. Why can't I do that? Why do I have to wear a dashiki and a
right?
Right.
Looking all crazy.
There's no such, conscious costume that you have to put on. It's not on you, it's in you, right?
Yeah.
So
That's the
I think
difference.
that's a part of it. And a lot of what we're seeing is people got it on them, but it's not in them.
That's a fact.
Say that.
It's
Absolutely.
halfway them, and the other half is a label. Y'all gotta remember that part too, because a lot of the music is hypnotic, and it's gotten to a point where that's all that the kids want to hear. That's a struggle too. Like, interestingly enough, to tap into what Miss Ice said and Tone, Sexy Red actually did an interview, and said that she was told to say certain things on a record, like the ridiculous things that I don't even want to repeat here.
Right.
But she said that she signed a contract and she didn't have a choice. Now, if we going back to what happened to Angie Stone and those ultimatums, you know what I'm saying? There's another element to this. Like, it's not just a conglomerate or a quick money grab. It's also these multi-billion-dollar companies with these people with no faces behind them are actually being predatory. That was Kendrick's point. That's why he said cut the TV off. That's the
Turn the
difference.
TV
Cut
off.
his
Yep,
internet
yep.
off. Cut his music off. Cut these things off because they're distracting you from the bigger point. And if you notice, the people that paid attention tapped in, and then there's a whole lot of people who picked and prodded at all the little things that they want you to pay attention to.
Well, say that.
See
There's
what
a
you see
lot
the
of power.
conversation you started, Ms. Ice? To keep it going, let's get into I Am Adriana T, getting like Left Eye from TLC.
For
I had to.
sure.
I had to. So quick inspo on this one was honestly, I've been doing a lot of shadow work, a lot of inner child work as of lately. So this is actually therapeutic for me. Um and then reflecting on back in the day, it actually doubled as some nurturing for my inner child. So this is called Message to Little A. I remember way back in the way back like a Cadillac on four flats. I was queen of the slick back, cause this hair couldn't part that. Nip naps, oil sheen, blue magic, color green, Sanan loving basketball, ponytails, my main thing. If it wasn't braided up, cause I never had an interest. Tomboy to the fullest in the sneakers that I fit in. Grew up in a tenement with bars like a prison. Still I had imagination filled with dreams I envisioned. One day I would be free. That's the space that I lived in. Mentally combined with motivation from Rugrats, Angelica and Chucky mixed together. I was that. Doug, I does that. Rocket Power was Reggie. Explained it all with Clarissa on the Amanda Show, heavy. Had to catch all that and Keenan and Kale. Snick gave me goosebumps. Sabrina cast spells. Love me some Sean. Topanga was my girl. TGIF for Boy Meets World. Sister, smart guy, the famous Jet Jackson. Anything Raven or Brandy would act in. Same for Kyla Pratt, better known as Penny Proud. Every Disney original movie from Brink to Halloween Town. I could honestly go on, but I think you get the point. Nick and Disney were staples. They never disappoint. Stayed up late at night to press record on my boombox. 10 to 12 a.m. uncensored hip hop. Raised in the prime of B.I.G. and Tupac. Pac is number one to me, but Biggie is top notch. Nas is dope too. The Locks, DMX, Outkast, Missy, Lauryn Hill in my tape deck. Quiet Storm at 7, loving soul and R&B. Built a passion for me, enjoying people sing. There was so much talent, so much range. You could tell the difference if they could sing or sang. Whitney, Mariah, SWV, Tony, Janet, Brandy, Tyrese, Maxwell, Babyface, all favorites to me. D'Angelo, Aaliyah, all singers to me. Just to name a few, the 90s were sublime. Even one hit wonders stand the test of time. I got a bit older, played percussion in band. TV and movies caused my taste to expand. Back when Drumline was new, I played that soundtrack out. Tapped into Alanis, Pink, No Doubt, Gwen Stefani, Avril, Paramore, Christina Aguilera with the voice from the Lord, Spice Girls, NSYNC, Blackstreet, Backstreet, Total, In Vogue, TLC made me happy. Hard to choose favorites. Too much greatness exists. To me, it's like debating Mike, Jack, and Prince. So instead, I chose them all and considered that a gift. To this day, you'll find my childhood all over my playlist. Back when pop was a genre, funk and emo were lifestyles, alternative and outlet to be weird and proud. Hip hop inspired artistic strength, R&B and soul transcended taste. Graduated from tapes to burning mixed CDs. Never missed Rap City or 106 on BET. The Real World Las Vegas, Super Sweet 16, Daria, TRL on MTV. Pop-up video in the morning before Saved by the Bell. My upgrade from Arthur, Lamb Chop, Wishbones, and Dragon Tales. VH1 Behind the Music. Also love Robin Leach. Lifestyles of Rich and Famous entertainment to me. If I wasn't writing poetry, I was into all games. Uno, Sorry, Trouble, Monopoly, all day. Nice at Tekken, Mortal Kombat, NBA 2K. If I wasn't reading books a little too raw for my age. Sister Soldier, Nikki Turner, Eric Jerome Dickey, Omar Tyree, Zane, I read plenty. Dabbled in freestyle, lyrically inspired. Had a group called VAD. My hooks and verses were fire. As I feel and peel back the onion of the younger me, I had a lot of fun despite what I could see. Hard to tell back then as a troubled youth. Now I'm old enough to show her the layered truth. It was never all bad. Your vision was clouded. All the aches and pains made you forget about it. But I'm here to remind and help you see the difference. Everything you were created an imprint that built over time. Even now you still shine. You're a part of the reason I still write and rhyme. Don't believe them when they say you can't get time back. You get it every second. You pause to backtrack on all the different stories that shape who you are. Timelines, lifetimes, lived thus far. With far more to come, we're designed to grow and change. So smile when you reflect on back in the day.
Yeah.
You know I love that.
Yeah, that's that fire. That's that fire.
Let Lydia
Hey,
have some fun.
my whole life. You said my whole life in a whole
Broke
poem.
it down.
Arthur, back in the yo, from the shows to the music to the yo. First of
Everything.
all, we was in the same household.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Mm-hmm.
I'm like, Tone go feel this emotion.
I was like,
That was the
yo.
90s was dope. That man, I'm telling you, that was an era. That was an
Oh
era.
Yes.
yeah, for sure, for
Yeah, it
sure.
was.
It was the one hit
Yo.
wonders for me that still be rocking though. Like for real,
Right?
for real.
Yeah.
No lies
Yeah.
detected.
So many.
Yeah. They were in that
TGI,
era.
Well,
Great
who's your
music.
TGIF
favorite
though.
favorite of that time though? It's so hard
Yo,
though. But like, if you had to say like,
I
yo,
can't say
I
this
listened
one.
to this one over and over and over on my playlist, or I
Yeah.
burned this CD
All of them.
over and over.
All of them. All of them.
geez,
Mm.
I got
All
lists.
of them.
It's easy asking me what
Yeah.
genre,
Cause
bro.
Mary J and Jagged Edge, I used to burn out. I mean, I
Yeah.
used to mess with
Mm,
old school. Like when I used to go on road trips, I used to still like my mom's like oldies but goodies CDs and
yeah,
listen to them.
yeah.
But when it comes to like blocking into my room, putting on my and just my age music and just daydreaming and putting me in a place where I was acting like I was them and thinking I
All right.
was, yeah,
Thinking
it
about it
was
that way,
Jagged
I got
Edge,
you.
Mary J was mine.
Missy Elliott for sure. Lauren
Missy
Hill,
Elliott, 100%.
absolutely. Yeah, 1,000%. For real, though, like I was
TLC.
Virginia, like I was
There's
definitely stuck on
something
the
in that
people from
Virginia
Virginia.
water.
You know what I'm
Mm.
Something
saying?
in
And
that
we're all
Virginia water
different and
comes. Oh
eclectic. Yeah,
man.
yeah, for
I
sure.
want to say as well, what it made me think of was how you can see the difference in which, and as I said earlier, it should I believe it was self-correct, but your poem just reminded me of how occupied your mind was. You know what I mean? You were
Mm,
always doing things to nurture your mind, reading, listening to lyrics, you know, remembering lyrics, all that in comparison to, you know, either this or this.
yeah.
Mhm.
Rolling, yeah. That's the difference. That is for sure. That is for sure a big difference. Can't leave out TLC, by the way, but I think that's a huge point. Like there was a lot more. Like it was actually fun to read, to sneak and read those books that were a little bit too grown for us and things like that.
Mhm.
Cause
And
Zane was
now,
definitely out of control.
you know
Okay.
what I mean? I'm not even gonna lie. There was a different type of thing, and I know that I was way too young for that. I was not even doing that. But but the point was that we were reading something. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah,
were
yeah.
focused on something. And I think the fact that we had the half and half of growing up outside and being honestly the pioneering group of people with social media made the difference. Like these kids have no foundation of that, and a lot of the parents are just sticking screens in front of them, and that's the worst thing you could do, man. Start them off with a book, and then maybe teach them about the screens when they're teenagers. You know what I mean?
I'm in
Too
agreement.
late for that, but you know, you could
Me
dream.
too.
You could dream, I guess.
Actually, now that you're saying that, but thank goodness my nephew do like, well, he's a Virgo like me. He loves to read too, but you saying that next time I go up to Connecticut, like when I spend a weekend with him, instead of like when he get bored or when I just want to just have some time, giving him the iPad, give him a book to like look at the pictures, point some stuff out or whatever, like because that is important. And it's so easy like nowadays where soon as you get busy or you have something that you want to do, like, and his mom be tripping on me too. She'd be like, let him learn to sit with himself, let him learn to like be in his head,
Be
let him learn
bored.
to like
Yeah.
stimulate himself with his surroundings. He doesn't always need the iPad. As soon as you want to do something you worried about, he can't sit with himself, you give him the iPad. Then that's what he's gonna feed onto. Like, let him sit, let him explore, let him walk around, let him be bored. Let him figure out something. Let him get in his mind
Oh
and start thinking about
yes.
some stuff. And you know, and now that you said that, it's like, you know what? I love him so much that I just always want him to be comfortable. I just always want him to be good. And you know, like I don't want you to be, but in hindsight, it's probably not the best thing that I'm doing.
Think about it. We
Honestly.
hated it, but we found something to occupy our minds, and that fed our brains in one way or another. That's the point.
Boredom is so underrated.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
where the
that's a big
magic
fact.
happens.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a big fact.
a
And I
lot of creativity happened while bored, for
Hmm.
sure.
give him a box and some pens. Give him a cardboard box. Give him a big roll of paper and some pens, and go make a spaceship.
But
Mm.
he likes to
Mm.
actually build
Facts.
things. Like I got him all different types of Legos and like building these building magnets. He likes to like build,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
build.
Perfect. That's
But
creative too. Yeah.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, it's just something to keep in mind and to be mindful of because it's just so easy nowadays just to be like, you know how to use it. You're able to sustain yourself, go in the corner, do your thing, but it's like, nah, because me growing up, I was into books. I
Hmm.
was into books. I was outside playing, was riding bikes. I was playing red light, green light. I was playing manhunt. I was out doing things. I wasn't inside or whatever. So maybe it's not the right thing to do. You're right. You're right.
Hey, we live and we learn, right? And
Mhm.
everything happens the way it's supposed to. But due to time constraints, we want to keep this thing going. So, Sister Tone, is your mic.
So for my piece, I did write a short story. So just for purposes, so that you understand where I'm going, I so we have three trees speaking. We have Willow is the grandmother, the oldest. We have Cypress, which is the mother or the middle one, and then we have Jupiter, which is the youngest one. And they all represent different eras. All right. So I'm ready. The scene opens the soft hum of a drone hovering over a quiet patch of Harlem woods. The camera zooms in on a small cluster of trees with burgundy leaves at the top, its branches swaying in rhythm. As the drone lowers to get a feel of what's going on in the surroundings, the kids wondering what's going on, what can they find? The drum gets lower and you can hear the voices rise in harmony, rich and full of soil and soul as they sing. If this world were mine, I'd give you everything. They sing in unison. As they laugh, the laughter rustles through the leaves. Cypress chuckles, turning to Jupiter. Now tell me, child, what do you know about Luther? Jupiter grinning, tapping her roots into the soil. I didn't have to be there. It's in the DNA. It runs through my roots. The music, the history, the love. It's all in the soil. Willow, her grandmother hums approvingly, nodding as a group of older folks strolls through the park, their conversation soft but animated. The trees fall into a comfortable silence listening. Then Willow speaks. Ah, back in the day, Harlem had a heartbeat you could dance to. Jazz poured out of every window. Langston Hughes sat over there with his notebook, and Duke Ellington's piano made the wind jealous. Jupiter leaned in, excited. That sounds magical. Willow chuckled softly. It was. And you could feel it in the soil. It was rich, like poetry mixed with moonlight, heavy ideas. The ground held the weight of dreams, of first drafts, of songs hummed into the night. A young couple passes, the man, excuse me, a young couple passes, the man in a striped pinstripe suit, a woman in a flapper style dress. The trees watch, amused. Cypress grinning. Look at them, dressed like they're headed to a Savoy ballroom. Now that was a place to be. The Lindy Hop, baby, that dance could shake the earth. Jupiter, curious. Well, in that time, I'm sure there was something to learn. Was there a lesson? Did you learn it? Willow, thoughtful. You know that Black art, Black thought, and Black love, they're eternal. Even in struggle, we create. We carve beauty out of hard times. She passes as a breeze moves through her leaves and then sighs. But, child, we also learn that too much light makes some folks nervous. The Renaissance, it ended when they realized our glow wasn't just a phase, it was power. A long pause, the trees surrounding sway in agreement. Then the sound of laughter and rhythmic footsteps breaks the silence as a group of men in crisp suits walking in formation passes through the park. Cypress, proud. Now that's my time. The 70s and 80s, baby. Harlem was a classroom. The Nation of Islam brothers, they walk like kings, train like warriors. Every step, it was purpose. The streets were watching and they knew it. Jupiter leaned in. And the soil, how did you feel? Cypress's roots tightened, firm, felt steady, disciplined, like it had a backbone. Even when the city tried to shake us, we held strong. Willow nodded. But let's not act like it was all struggle. You know good and well Harlem was still alive. That was the soul music era, baby. A man in an Adidas tracksuit and gold chain passes by, nodding his head, singing a song only he can hear. Cypress grinning. Teddy Pendergrass, Al Green, Gladys Knight and the Pimps. Whew, you had you heard two notes before somebody fell in love. Jupiter laughing. What about the fashion? I know y'all wasn't as fly as we are now. Cypress laughing too. Oh, we had style, baby. Rope chains, Kangol hats, shell toes, baggy jeans with crop tops. The girls was fly and the guys was fly, and we had confidence. It was unmatched. Jupiter curious again. What was the lesson of your time? Cypress was serious now. That strength and dignity walk hand in hand. And that looking good and being good ain't really the same thing, baby. A pause. Then a group of young people walk by. Some with natural curls, some in hoodies, some in bold colors and free flowing styles. They were laughing, moving easily. They were just being. Jupiter beamed, and now look at us. It's different, but in a good way. People are free now. They're chasing dreams, loving themselves, not just trying to survive, living. Cypress softens. She nods. I see it too. Back in my day, we had to fight to be seen. Now, y'all are making sure you see yourselves. And that's beautiful. Willow smiling, wiser than ever. Hmm. And you know what I've learned? Through this conversation and what I know to be true, time don't go nowhere, baby. People do. Every ever has its struggles, its music, its love, but no matter what, Harlem grows, we grow. The trees sway together, their burgundy leaves rustle like soft laughter. The drone pulls out as it moves back towards its owner. Watching over Harlem as it always does, the music, the past, the present, the future, it hums in the wind. And as the drone moves on, if this world were mine. That's it.
Yo, don't you ever not participate again. That was
Yeah.
so fine. That was so
Yes.
good.
That's
That
how
was
you
so,
do
so
it.
good.
Woo, woo.
I need the long version of the
Yes.
Willow story. That was so good. Fire.
Yeah.
I was hoping y'all
Yeah,
would have
yeah,
caught it too.
yeah.
I was like, dang, it's a little bit. But I was like, nah, they're gonna get it. They're
So
gonna get
good.
it.
Same
Yes,
one was
indeed.
people do. Time don't go nowhere. People do.
Time don't
Uh-huh.
go
Oh,
nowhere. People
genius.
do. Cause if you think
Wow.
about it, right? If you think about it, as I was thinking, we was on a call one Saturday, or whatever, and I had the thought, I was like, I want the trees to talk. I was like, I know what I'm gonna do. You know, time is really a social contract that we have in our individual minds. So
Mm.
as we progress and move on from one phase to another, that everything that, like, think of a tree that was from its inception up until now, they've lived through how many years. They have all of that. I don't have what happened in the 70s because I wasn't there. Who was born in the 30s don't have what's going on in 2000 because they're not here. But the time is still everything that has happened. We the only ones that come and go, float and move and progress and elevate. And so, you know what? Enjoy your time while you're here.
So now that for
That was
me,
fire.
that was just so mystical.
Thank you,
Yes.
guys. I
I was just
appreciate it because I
taken
was excited
away.
about this one because I was excited
Yeah.
as I was doing it. I had it all in my
Yeah.
head.
The,
Yeah, you
the
did
the the
that.
thing for me was when you said what Langston Hughes and the
Mm-hmm.
piano and the wind was
Duke,
jealous.
Duke, mm-hmm.
Duke Ellington, that was so like the what do they call those things where it's like it's like the you know what y'all know what I'm saying. It's like trees, plant. You know what I mean? Like the analogies
Ah,
for me was so profound and mystical. The way that you spoke it, it was just like I was there. I was taken away to a place. And I'm gonna have to say the same thing with Adriana. Like
For
I
sure.
was playing those games, I was watching those shows. I have been
mm,
all those places. And then also with you, Supersede is like I don't know if you caught it, but I spoke about my auntie as well. You know, I'm like, it's just so the complimentary parts of it's like everybody's complimenting each other. Like we're chiming in the different pieces of time and the aspects of time. And it's just so beautiful to me. That's my
The music to get like the 60s, 70s music, I had to go into my Spotify and I actually pulled up 70s hits or whatever. See, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna hold
okay.
That's all
you.
good.
See,
That's
like
what a true artist
who
does.
was
You gotta do your
playing, and
research.
I
Uh-huh.
played a couple of tracks and I was like, "Ooh, I love this," and that's when I went to that. So
I
that's
love
my
it.
proof right there for that. I ain't know all of that. I did some research.
That's what's up.
Yes.
As a
That you did that.
storyteller should. As a storyteller should. Beautiful,
Absolutely.
man.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I love that you did write a story. It shocked me that you wrote a story, and it shocked me that you sang so beautifully.
Beautifully.
Shall we Cynthonia, and tell her you need to sing more?
That's why I can't
Yes.
participate. Don't count
Yeah.
yourself out. You are so talented, bro. I knew it was
Yes.
gonna be good. But I want to hear what you gotta say.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys. I really felt really good about this one. So I really appreciate you guys took it. I felt good about this one.
Yes.
And can I say
Yeah,
that
as
I
you
think
should.
it should be, it is the same as you said to Adriana about audio. That sounds like a child's audio book.
But I hate my voice though. That's the whole thing. I don't like the way I sound.
Beautiful
Nobody
voice.
else does. So,
You have a great voice.
yeah.
We're our own worst critics. Like for real,
Yeah.
for real.
We are. Yep.
You know
Children
what I
would
also
love
see it
that
as?
story.
I also see it as a it's programming as well for children, right?
Yeah.
So to get that, and in the vein of Black love, I mean, I see it as like Sister Supernatural. She said that audio book, but also the way you painted the picture with the words. For me, you can turn it into a play. You can turn it into so much. You can do a lot with it.
I see that movie.
You
I
did
see
that.
the short film.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. You could turn that into a mini movie.
Yep. Especially with AI.
Don't tell me that because I'll start thinking about how I can expand. What are we talking
Do
about?
it. That's
For your nephew,
awesome.
you'll put your nephew in front of the screen. Put him in front of that story, yo. Things
Yeah.
like that. Things
Yes,
like that.
yes. Share that with him.
I
for
love the
sure, for
trees
sure.
are telling the story. Like that for me was like
Brilliant.
next brilliant. Period. Yes.
And then I went on a nature walk yesterday, so I'm over there, just putting my hands on trees and getting that vibration. So when
Grounding, that's right.
you say what you say, all I could do is smile. I just put on my drum. I said, that's all I could do because I'm feeling it. It had my
I love
my
that
heart
drum.
It was proper Cynthonia. It was you say to everybody else what brilliant storytellers they are, but the storytelling of that was superb. It was top notch. And you should make it bigger. You should animate it. You should do AI art, do a book with it. Because it's that brilliant.
I appreciate it. I do understand, and I do know that I know, like, I'm good at storytelling. Like, my professors been telling me that since I started college.
Love it.
Like, even I have this note that I read to you guys before. Like, this one guy, I did a writing workshop for 6 or 8 weeks, and we had to go through different. Like, he gave us one time, and maybe that's kind of actually subconsciously where that day came from. Because I wrote a short story with a fox, a turtle, and something else was the assignment. And he was like, that's so interesting how you pulled meaning out of this. And he was just like, it's really, really, and it's just like something that always stuck in the back of my head. Like I do know that I have that ability. Like I love to do that. You give me a topic and I do love to see how could I make it come alive. But I'm just glad that I actually, the way it came out, the way I wrote it, the way I performed it, the way it's received. This is the first time it actually went the way it was supposed to all the way across. Now I'm happy.
Yes.
Yes.
As you should be, for sure, for sure. And we got the Goddess Anahata in here, right?
Oh, it's about to be on.
Yes, I'm here.
I think this is the perfect way for us to get back in the day. I gotta hear what you gotta say about back in the days. You the baby out the bunch.
And interestingly enough, as I was listening, since I came in a little later, I heard Adriana and I heard Tone's piece, both of their pieces. And even though there's a slight age gap, I still felt so much of it because we still share so many of the same experiences. And that goes to further highlight just how, one, nostalgic time can be, but two, how irrelevant time is, into the fact that if you're in the midst of your experiences, they continue to translate and they continue to have life for years and for other generations and for other decades, literally decade time periods, can still share them. Even when it comes to my younger brothers, we're 7 and 14 years apart. I'm the oldest, and they still have some of the experiences that I grew up on. And I'm able to relate them all together, and there's no gaps in experience loss. They still get it, just like how I still get it when I heard what I heard when I'm hearing the music artists and the TV shows and the way that everyone was dressing and the way that Tone really personified nature. And I still understand it the same way. And the way that I grew up in libraries, my mom used to take me to libraries in a car seat. So I've been in libraries since I was an infant. And then I used to get what's the word I'm looking for? I would get VCR tapes, and then I would get even the audiobook tapes for the books that I would read as a kid. And then that's what taught me how to read. So all of those experiences all together, you would never think I still grew up on VCR tapes, but I did. I was there for it. I got to have it, and it was great.
Oh man, not the VHS.
Yo,
the
old school.
The tapes were there, and I had a full collection of them, and I was still around for floppy disks, and I was still around for payphones and things that my youngest brother he looks at me crazy when I said payphone or when I say phone book, and just certain things like that. Those are like foreign words, and how we're all still so closely related together as I listen to you all. And I love that part. That is the back in all of our day, really. And this piece that I have, it takes a bit of a different direction. This one is called Party Time. And for context, I wrote it as a reflection of my time in undergrad when I was in college and how everybody would relate to each other and how everybody basically grew up. The part that people forget about college when you're going in undergrad, especially if you're going in starting at 18, everybody's coming straight from their home experiences, straight from whatever trauma they had, straight from whatever they were going through at home, straight from whatever they hadn't learned from yet. Nobody is developed and everybody's still experiencing themselves and learning. So the way that a lot of people would become friends when I was in college, if y'all know the term, you're trying to match, and what that means you trying to smoke. And that's how everybody became friends. You can go up to complete strangers, male, female, everybody. That's how everyone became friends. You trying to match, I got weed, you got weed, let's do that, and let's engage, let's experience. And that's how people with no other way to relate, that's how they related to each other, through a substance. And then a lot of it would become trauma bonding, and then a lot of it would lead into different things, but that was always the foundation. And I realized that that's not healthy in the way that it's being used. So this is where that piece came from. And this is so much deeper than just the act in itself. It always came from the root of back in all of our day, what really led up to the fact that this is where we are right now, using this substance to take us into a different element as the way that we can connect. Why can't people connect with each other now? But then it comes from what was happening back in the day. So this is Party Time. I remember when match was a term of endearment. Now match sounds like a threat because I know it's just a battle of who can mask their pain the best. Who wants to drown quicker? Who can suffer faster? Not a match I'm ready to win. My ancestors would be ashamed at why I'm crying. Just imagine the amount of boulders they had to take up off my chest, and I got the nerve to tell them I can't handle this? Now, all of them deserve the energies. All of them deserve better energy, but all this adverse energy is spinning me, and I just won't take it no more. So I pull the white flag on the match I was in. Mask my pain? Not a battle I'm ready to win. I let trees and the liquor be my gate to begin, gate wide open to everyone else's pain. Thought I could take it so they could feel better again. The only way I could still think I'm breathing when swimming amongst sharks. It was fun till it wasn't anymore. Being the only lifeboat in a sea of trodden souls. I remember when match turned everyone into homies and besties, a commonality of each crazy life. Now, match is a radar for me to assess if you're a hurt one or if you really do just want to have some fun. And I get it now. After some trial and error, my only error was not being me. But I'm me now. I'm she now. I can breathe now at peace. Now, match still ain't no invite, but now it's not a threat to me. I say.
Per usual, absolute fire.
Thank you.
Absolute fire.
Thank you.
Right on time.
I love that
And
imagery. Fire.
I want to say one more time that I appreciate the pieces that I did here for the lightheartedness and the beautiful levels of nostalgia that they brought, even though I took it to a more intense place of back in the day and what that means in one regard, and that your pieces were so calming and being able to remember the beautiful parts. And even Adriana said that there were so many beautiful parts of back in the day, of remembering, of bringing up memories, and they can get lost when you're not even trying to be focused on the pain, but the human brain is wired to focus on the pain first before the beauty. And that you made it a point, and Tone made it a point to bring those into the equation first. And then even with this sharp turn and the sharp juxtaposition of it can be beautiful, but back in the day is so diverse, and it's how far back do you want to go? And I love that y'all took it real far back, and I was able to take it back, but that's not as far back as being able to really recall the beautiful moments of what shaped your adult experience growing up. This allowed me to put it in perspective of, it's farther back since I'm not that young adult anymore, even though I'm still young. Don't say it. Even though I'm still young, but I'm not that level of young. And so it feels so far away because of how much I've grown. And back in the day can literally be just a couple years, depending on how much you've grown in that time.
True indeed. True.
That's a fact. Back in the day, but also Sister Caroline also said it when I also first came up with it. Back in the day could be before you was born. Back in the day could be a time period that brings any kind of nostalgic memory or whatever to yourself. Like, for instance, when I was listening, taking those CDs, oldies and goodies, I didn't grow up in that time. I don't know nothing of it. I just know that one time I heard my foster parents playing it, and the music, the words that I was listening to while I was locked in the basement, like resonated with me. Like, so when I took when she went to work and I stole my first CD from out of her room and I listened to it, like I listen to over and over, like I put myself like in that space, however it may look. It may not have been exactly how it might have been, but in my mind. But Sister Caroline said a thing, and it's so true, that back in the days could even be before your time, because one of my greatest inspirations was the Black Panther Party that I didn't have no like affiliation with, but
At
only
all.
through, you know what I'm saying, through watching, hearing, and learning through my older sister, because she loved them. I didn't have no. So for me, that was back in the day, and it molded me to be kind of a little bit more militant in certain ways that I conduct myself, because I have such admiration for them. But that was before I was even
I
born.
like that you said that. Thank you for bringing that up and being able to retouch on that point so I could get it. And I definitely can resonate with and appreciate that. I remember doing an entire essay on the Black Panther Party, and it was a comprehensive essay to where we had to, when I was in grade school, make a full, not just the paper, but we had to make a full project on it. And so I was pulling up all types of music and pieces and making things incorporating the Black Panthers, and feeling like that was me, like I was one of the Black Panthers kids, and I'm over
You
here
know
in
what I'm
my
saying?
little
Because that's what I felt. That's what I felt. I'm telling you.
That's how you able to draw that connection to it, right? You know what that makes me think of? My son, he has a project that he's doing in social studies right now, and it's on Egypt, and he chose the god Set. And And I'm interested in seeing what connection he draws from that, how he
That's
gets,
dope too.
you know,
Yeah, because he was the
connected
bad
to
guy.
that piece.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Hell
for
yeah.
sure.
Are you
No.
working on it with him, or you just waiting to see what he produces, to see
I send him
where his
stuff
brain is at?
to get inspiration from. So we'll build on it together.
That's
But I'm
dope.
letting him be in the driver's seat. You know, it's his
That's dope.
work.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, that's fire.
That's fire. Yeah. I'm
Wow.
curious too. So when he finished the project, let us know what he came up with was his findings, because it's always intriguing, because some youth now, we have a perception, you know what I'm saying, based off of general time and where people are. But some of the youth they be
Right.
surprising us. You be like, oh, you. So I'm
You
curious.
actually tapped in. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Here.
you know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
So I'm curious to see where he goes with it. Egypt is such a big, like, there's a lot to draw from that.
Yes. Yes.
A lot. I'm
I
curious. That's what's up.
that I love. This is gonna sound wrong, but I'm a youth worker, right? And I love that you let us into young people's secrets, because I want to know you like secrets, because you got secret codes, like match. Like, what is this match? I'm sitting here like in my
Me
chair.
too.
Everybody better go upside down talking about match.
That's
No. If you ever
think-
hear somebody say are you trying to match, that means are you also trying to equally reciprocate us engaging in
Are you
smoking
going
weed? That means,
half?
yeah, I have
Right.
some, you have some, let's go half, or I'll go half on a
Yeah.
gram or two, then you go, we split it, we share it, and we gonna have a session. That's what that means.
That is
Yeah.
that.
You know what? I think
She's
that's
like,
one of
now
the
I'm
things since
listening,
I was
Omni.
a
I'm
kid.
listening now.
I
I was
think there's
saying that at
some
15.
that's a thing from over here, because
it.
even in high school we would say the same thing, and I'm
Right.
4 decades on this earth, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
That's
probably just a
crazy for
thing of
sure.
over here. Yeah, we used to say, yo,
Never
you trying to match?
Yeah, for dead serious. Like,
We used
yo,
to say
I'm
that
at
too.
you, what's up?
Yeah.
Oh, what you got? And we would say that in undergrad before even exchanging names.
Oh,
And that's
dang.
the part,
I don't
that's
even need
one
to
of
know
the
your name. You
parts
got bud?
that made it crazy. Or even if nobody had it, we agree on the session and we trying to figure out who got the person that they could call. And then we say, oh, well, by the way,
the
and so
And then
cannabis
this,
to
connection.
juxtapose that with with the psychology of it,
mhm.
beautiful. Like
So,
to go into depth of why you want to feel that way. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's an
It
Yeah.
amazing
goes
way to
so
think about
deep.
it.
And no one's
but
ever thought about it that deep before until I sat back and really realized how much of that was incorporated into all 4 years of 4 stages of undergrad. 2 different colleges, 2 different states, 2 different types of people, and it was all still the same.
Wow.
What's
Everybody's
crazy
hurting.
is, sorry, whoever I cut off, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You good? Go ahead.
No, what was crazy is that, like, because it's a double-edged sword, because even in that, it's still a bonding, like it's still a way
Mm-hmm.
like people to interact and come in.
Mm-hmm.
My two of my closest friends, one of them we're not so close anymore since I got locked up, but we met in school, both off a smoking session or whatever, like, but
Mm-hmm.
so there's that, you still get to meet, but there's also the other part that you spoke about, the trauma bonding,
Mm-hmm.
because you meeting and talking, and it's so easy to link up with somebody who has the same likes as you, but then you're not really even understanding why you have the same likes. And then you start getting into it or whatever, and then you start moving and building off of the same energy or whatever, and then you get sucked in and trapped and magnetized to that energy like
Mm-hmm.
harder. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy, but I ain't gonna lie, don't match me. Bring your own, but I'm still gonna
I do want to say that I can relate to what you're saying, the Goddess Anahata, in the sense of, I think I experienced something similar going to London, coming
Mm-hmm.
from a little town that was suburban and quiet. And when I got to London, I didn't, like you've said, I didn't realize that it was trauma bonding. but people were talking about stuff that was so far away from my existence. And I'm finding myself embroiled in this world that I don't know anything about. You know, friends of mine who had parents who were addicts or lived on estates that were super rough and dangerous and could get stabbed or shot, and for me, like, I didn't know nothing about that. So I love hearing the reflection and the juxtaposition of, as you've said, of you not really being about that, but finding yourself in that, and then going, you know what, I wave the white flag, I'm out of here, because this ain't good for me. I love that.
Yeah, you're strong, because I would have still been in there puffing like, this ain't no good for me. And I know it. You gonna match me?
Granted, that took some time, because for me, it wasn't an intentional trauma bond, but that's how people were bonding to me. So when I said these weren't even like Supernatural C was just saying, they're not my traumas. I'm the one who, this is an activity I engage in, but I'm just having fun. But that was a gateway for people who felt uncomfortable existing. They felt uncomfortable interacting. They didn't know how to talk to each other. And of course, it's worse now with this social media decline age. Nobody knows how to spark up a conversation. They don't know what to say. They don't know how to interact. So that was a way for me to help people feel comfortable with me. And then finally, now their inhibitions are down. Now they're not thinking so hard about it. Now they can just talk. Now they can just be themselves. Now they can finally express, because they're so heavily guarded. They're guarded with everything that they've experienced. They don't know how to just be, or they don't know how to communicate. And it became unhealthy for me, because then over time they would be trying to put more of that into my atmosphere because of what they weren't trying to learn from, or maybe they didn't know that they needed to heal or learn from it, but I could sense it and I could feel it, because I've always been very sensitive to those things and to energies. And so they were using that as a gateway to figure out how they could attach themselves to me. And then when I'm around other people, then I'm seeing it interacting. But because, like Tone said, I had my fun, I'm still like, dang, 5 grams is better than 2. So
you understand me? Do you understand me?
You just read my energy.
so I still engage.
That's the truth of it.
But then, of course, over time, I said, no, I'm going to cut this off. And if this is something that I like, I'm going to just probably have to do it over here by myself. Because y'all not doing it.
I think you have to safeguard. Going through life, you've got to safeguard against what you just said. Because not everybody who's had trauma is going to try and latch onto you. But if you have a strong center that can be sensed, you're always going to go back to what you knew. People always go back to what they knew, which is why a really traumatic childhood can be a lot harder to get through. But your default isn't that. Your default is something else. It's not hard for you to go back to that. But the danger that I've learned personally and I've seen professionally with young people that I know through the work is that you want to be kind, but you can't let people latch onto you like that. You have to manage it like you manage money, you know what I mean? And as I say, it's not always the people that you think. Me and my daughters were talking just the other day. I watched this, I'll say this really quickly, this documentary it was about a murder in a really affluent area. And it was these boys trying to pretend to be something. And the nicest boy out of the group, who came from a really like humble background, working class, he got a scholarship and went to this super posh school with these kids that, you know, their parents are footballers, they're multimillionaires, they're in one of the most affluent areas in the country. And the one that got killed was the one from the humble background. And these other two were pretending to be something. And just one stab, you know, and he was gone. You know what I mean? But I have seen for professionally that it's not always about not having. And I mean, financially, sometimes it's about that gap emotionally, regardless of your background. If you haven't got that love, these youths, when you see the pictures of them on the documentary, they don't look good. They're unhappy.
Yeah.
If you haven't got that loving home, that foundation. So
Yeah.
you know, you said a lot in that piece. You said a lot.
Mhm.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And a big part of back in the day for me was turning into a counselor for a lot of people, and I was not getting paid or compensated in any way. But back in the day, to fit the theme, that was me. And wanting really to understand where individuals are coming from, since we are so many different people who share so many commonalities, like your poems have expressed, in like how we all know there is so much that we all relate to on the good side, but what is the part on this opposite side that has also made you this? And even though back in your days, in my day, from some of those traumatic standpoints, what are these things here? And then how can we not have to utilize any outside influence to heal, to where it can be fun again, which is why I put that in my last piece. I'm not against it, of course, but only when it's fun. Strip yourself of anything that could hinder you from your growth until you can heal, and then it become fun again. And then you'll know what's the truth. What was that?
That's a fact.
Can I just say one thing? Oh, sorry, Adriana. You saying something? Say it. I'll go.
Oh no, I was just gonna like your last point is a beautiful point. There was a time where it was a trauma thing for me, and I put weed down for years because I wanted to figure myself out without it, because that was absolutely something I used to be social and all of those things, because I didn't have the leg to stand on my own. And there's a complete difference of an experience, even if you give yourself that break. I noticed that. Like when you start doing the work, when you start really taking yourself outside of that one box where you have to do this or that to fit, it makes 100% difference. So now, you know, if I were to indulge in something like that, it would be more spiritual, because that's where my head is. I probably talk to God for 3 hours. You know what I'm saying?
That's fire.
That's the difference. That is the difference. It's 100% worth it to examine yourself in that way. So that was very beautiful. I definitely resonated with this. Very powerful.
I already know it though.
You guys are repping the States. Let me tell you, you're repping hard. I love my stateside new family. I really
Can
do.
I just say when
UK
we got,
baby, UK baby.
when we got off just now at 4 o'clock, when we got off and I was getting ready to go in the shower, I went into the bathroom. I was like, yo, I love my Geek Squad. I love it.
We
Yo, because we like